here goes nothing. We are going to jump into one of my very first sketchbooks ever. And this is probably when I was like in the second grade on to, I don't know, just really small. So some of what you see is a lot of scribbling, and I'm just going to walk through a couple of things that I recognize and maybe point out some little goofy things. And yeah, so enjoy. This first little page is kind of funny. I started wanting to draw a little picture of Spud Webb. You can see that Hawks jersey number 4, and didn't really finish it. So that's how it went when I was that age. And at this age, I was really into drawing all sorts of funny little characters, and some of them you can recognize as athletes. I was into drawing. Here's a little depiction of Michael Jordan up there, Bo Jackson, and then just some random characters. You can see a little bit of John. Is it John or Jim from Garfield? So this was going to be a kind of a collage of words, text, and you can see that it just kind of didn't go anywhere, but it was going to be some NBA players that I liked. Scribbled out here, you can see it says Sir Charles, Michael Jordan, Isaiah. Never finish it. Some interest there in Indiana Jones. And the Ghostbusters logo has always been a favorite. Another kind of Indiana Jones right there. Here's one of the athletes I liked at that age, Don Mattingly. Had him batting right-handed, which is incorrect. He's a left-handed batter. And I did a lot of pictures of Batman for some reason. Batman and the Joker. My friends and I would get together and just draw pictures of Batman. Here's Don Mattingly. All these pages are really sparsely used. There's Batman and the Joker. And some more athletes. We have this weird little Larry Bird here, Dominique Wilkins, now Michael Jordan. Oh, I stopped drawing Batman and I drew Fat Man, which I'm sure in my brain at that age was super funny. So, and some random characters that I was wanting to draw for a game that I had in my brain. Mixture of athletes, scribbles. Indiana Jones. So here's a page I took some more time on. I had a drawing book that helped me draw some athlete figures. So here you've got a football and a fencer. And here are some cartoon versions of our cats that we had growing up. Libby and Little One. 2 little cats, and this little thing is something that they were supposed to play with. I don't know if they ever did, and this was what my signature looked like back in those early days. Scribbles. Attempt at drawing Michael Jordan here. We see a Ninja Turtle emerge. And here we see some of the Simpsons emerge. Here we've got a Homer, Bart. Here's a warm-up sketch. My grandparents were celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary, and I was asked to draw their portrait kind of in the American Gothic style. Seeing my grandpa here, and didn't really finish Grandma, and then I redid the piece, which actually was in their house for a long time. Now it's in my basement. So here's a caricature that was used in a Paula Abdul video that I tried to recreate on my sketch pad. Very feeble attempt. And some more Bart Simpson. Back in those days when that cartoon was new. These pages are kind of filled with some drawings of a friend of mine, so not all of them are mine. Kind of see if I can different styles there. And moving into this next one here, a little bit older. This was a drawing I did for someone who was putting on a small play. And then a lot of these drawings are from a how-to book, how to draw some celebrities like Morton Drucker, famous Morton Drucker. So we've got Bruce Willis, Elvis Presley, Oliver Hardy, and Schwarzenegger down here at the bottom. Throughout some of these you see this little figure who's kind of like a Chicago Bulls logo, but I was drawing him with the name Space Cow. And then also through these pages you'll see some calligraphy that I was learning in the 6th grade, so that kind of puts a timestamp on this sketchbook here. Lots of little fun things in here. If you look really, really close, you see this little guitar down here that says Beatles. I was into the Monkees back then, which that was their logo, and I must have just learned about the Beatles, drawing Paul McCartney, of course. A lot of scribbling here. This must be when I was in the 8th grade. I was drawing a concept or a picture to use in a campaign for my friend who was running for class officer in the 8th grade back then. And we were successful. He was the class officer many times. And here we've got a scribble of Spike Lee being Mars Blackman back in the day. So we've got some Michael Jordan things here, his shoes, the Jumpman. Got a little guy up here, you can tell the little Jumpman going on. Way back then. You'll see this little guy here, this little weasel that I was creating every now and again back in those days. Some more evidence of the Space Cow. Here's the Space Cow uniform. And for whatever reason, I was really influenced by these commercials, so I was seeing a lot of Nike flight commercials, and UNLV must have been really popular back then because I drew UNLV on this page a couple of different times. Nike. Isn't that perfect? Isn't that better than the original swoosh that I had scribbled on a piece of paper? Sure it was to me back then. A little picture of Kevin Johnson of the Phoenix Suns way back in the day, and me drawing the states, I guess, that I was familiar with. KJ. There's a lot of different little Easter eggs in here. One of the things that you see this little thing, it says deeper shade of soul, so I would grab my sketchbook and listen to music, and sometimes I would just write the words that I heard on the radio or on whatever tape I was listening to. But we see some of these brands come into play, the Nike Force, the Reebok Pump, even have some Girbaud things influencing here, and plenty of signatures. And this page is kind of funny because right in the middle you see within the scribbles you see the word Christy, and I had a crush on a girl named Christy back then who moved off to Egypt after the 7th grade, and I was really sad. You know, Bart Simpson right there. Another page that I didn't finish that I always wanted to, but have some Michael Jordan going on. You can see this little rough sketch of a pose that I was wanting to do. More Indiana Jones. Here we see some Karl Malone. Memphis Belle, I remember drawing that. This must have been around the 8th or 9th grade when that movie was popular. And here we see Dee Brown. And I actually got a pair of his shoes after he won the dunk contest. But again, just started to draw and never really finished. These word lists that you see, again, this must have been a commercial that was on the radio. Super approved tires, this, famous, $39.95. I would just write the words that I heard, and as soon as I was in writing, I'd write the next word that I heard. It's just kind of funny to see that show up here. You see Chicago Bulls logo here, turning into the Space Cow idea that I mentioned. More word lists. You see this little guy here. This looks kind of like the little Noid was used with Domino's Pizza way back in the day. And this little guy here, this is a curious one. This is a little drawing of a wizard that I had in a ceramic that I was doing. And then I just decided to draw that. Kind of fun. You see these little scribbles. I was trying to recreate the Massimo logo, which was a really popular clothing brand back then that I liked. And I'm even noticing here something from Alien, which I had never even seen it, but for some reason I have a drawing of Alien right there. And I've got a little Robin Hood areas with his bow and arrow and flaming arrow. Interesting little find there. Some blank pages. Here's a fun page. I really, really love this little animal right here, this little dog. It just seemed to turn out way, way better than I actually was an artist. I just like looking at that, just look on that little dog's face. Here's I've got some silhouettes that are from the movie Robin Hood, which is a favorite movie of mine back then. And again, you see this little weasel coming up. I'm finding little bunnies that also were quite prevalent in my drawings, and these little snakes. This little snake right here that I'd been drawing. And this little guy here, beware of the man that looks like this. Drawing some sort of a Skeletor creature there. Aha, Indiana Jones. This one, even though it didn't get finished, it got more finished than some of the others. So, and here I am playing around with more scribbling, more signatures. Again, there's that alien. I don't even know that I had seen Alien or knew anything about it. And I've created this little character down here named Sloth Boy for some reason. Kind of funny. Here, amidst all of these scribbles, it says the word Casey. I had a crush on a girl named Casey, I guess. And here we go, we've got a Batman, we have a little treasure troll here that's got kind of a birthday cake top hat on. More signature. Oh, here's a Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. Scribbling. And this is the first political thing that I ever drew. I don't know why, but here we've got Ross Perot, Bill Clinton, and George Bush Sr. represented on this page, and we've got some characters from the movie Beauty and the Beast. Here's the Beast hiding in the midst of the scribbles, and the mirror. Got a Homer Simpson hiding in there. Bunch of random stuff. More scribbles. A little Phantom of the Opera down there for some reason. A church right in the middle. Don't know why I was drawing that. And then here we go, more of the calligraphy. And of course I had to draw one of my favorite letters, even to this day, is the letter K, but I was drawing it, I think, because I had the crush on the girl named Christy. But you can see lots of different examples of practicing there. Little eyeball in the corner. 8-ball below here. More K's, of course. Genie from Aladdin, that would have come out during that time. More letters and a couple more athletes. Wonder Boy from the movie The Natural. Here, this is a pretty good snake for my skills back then, and even a dinosaur. I think this was probably before Jurassic Park came out, maybe I was still drawing this when that movie came out. Another Batman, kind of jester for some reason. And to finish this one off, Garfield. And that's that.